Hi everybody, Tuesday with Tanya. Doing a few things tonight. Basically promoting for Bistro Cafe. We're supposed to do that earlier, but there's a change in plans on their end and my end. So but I will be talking about Bistro Cafe right on Atwood Ave in Cranston. You should definitely visit it sometime. Also, some other little tidbits, random things. Drop a comment about anything during this. If you want, feel free. And also there's going to be a raffle as well. And the topic, so feel free to drop a comment also about the topic. Are things the way they seem in people's lives? So definitely chime in on that. Tell me if you think yes or no or whatever you may think. So yes, so we have, first thing would be Bistro Cafe right on Atwood Ave, right in Cranston. Great place. I'm going to talk about it. So I'm going to give you some of their menu, like tidbits from their menu, but keep in mind that they are having a newer menu coming out soon. It doesn't mean they can't still do these things, so we'll see how that goes. I'm sure most of this stuff is still going to be on the menu, but there's probably going to be some changes to it. So I want to also say hi to Mary over at Bistro Cafe and Marjorie, I hope I'm saying her name right, and the excellent chef, and I'm really bad with names, so I'm sorry, I just don't remember your name. But I apologize, but you're an excellent chef. You did a great job, and everything I tried that day, I sampled more than one thing, whether it was a lunch item or a breakfast item, and it was very delicious and very, very fresh. It was very, very tasty, I have to say. So no issues there. The prices are affordable. Definitely check it out. It's right at 160 Atwood Ave in Cranston. So it's 160 Atwood Ave, Cranston, Bistro Cafe. And if you've been there, drop a comment. You know, tell me your favorite dish you had there or whatever you liked as far as for a beverage. Did you have a certain tea or a certain coffee, a certain side dish that you liked? Was it breakfast? Was it brunch? Did you make it your brunch for that day? So just let us know. So just some ideas of some of the things I picked out of the menu. They have a hash benedict. They have a breakfast burrito. They have a healthy quinoa wrap. So this was something that they all caught my eye, but this in particular caught my eye. It has quinoa. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Beets, sweet potatoes, spinach, guacamole, and egg whites in it. So that sounded really healthy. And when you eat healthy, I feel like you fill up quicker. I mean, I think you do. I mean, I don't know. Drop a comment about that, anything I just mentioned, or if you agree with that or not. When I eat better, I almost just feel better. If I'm eating too much sugar or too many carbs, or I just feel more sluggish. I don't think it's all in my head. So, but yeah, so they have a bunch of great things there. They have a breakfast quesadilla. They have tater tots. I feel like that's becoming the new trend with the tater tots. I feel like I remember them years ago when I was a kid, and I haven't seen them in a while until now. They're coming out everywhere. Places are starting to have tater tots again. So yeah, there's omelets. There happens to be different types of omelets, and there happens to be one omelet with jambalaya in it. There's breakfast sandwiches. There is also pancakes, waffles. That's all my favorite. Strawberry cheesecake, stuffed French toast. There are healthy salad options. So again, that goes into kind of the lunch menu. And thanks guys for tuning in. Drop a comment and say hi if you want. Or just drop a comment also in connection to Bistro Cafe over in Cranston on 160 Atwood Ave. Or you can drop a comment about the topic of the day. Are things the way they seem in life? Are things the way they seem even in people's lives? Or are they just pretending to be happy? So definitely drop a comment, whether you're watching now or on a replay. Okay, I know it's a little late. It's like a little after 9 o'clock here. It almost turned into Wednesday with Tanya. We're like a few hours away. So definitely a little late tonight here. But yeah, so I want to go back to some of the menu options again. And let's see, there's Hispanic food options. There's wraps, there's burgers, there's sandwiches. So there's definitely a big variety over at Bistro Cafe. I have to say it's a nice menu. It's affordable. Just go there and check it out. Tacos, another one of my favorites. A deep fried quesadilla, that looked interesting as well. Rice bowl, there's fajitas. There's different flavor coffees, always my favorite. I'm not even a huge coffee drinker. I do drink it, but not daily. But I love all the flavors. So again, there's reasonable pricing. There's from scratch muffins. And their phone number, if you want to call them with any questions or to put an order in for takeout. If you want to do some takeout and you can't stay, it's 401-563-8491. Someone had actually dropped a comment on one of my posts earlier someone that must have been to Bistro Cafe, and said this guy said, if you really, you really need to go into Bistro Cafe in person and get the experience in person. You get to experience and eat in the atmosphere and everything, and the quality of the food, the freshness, the presentation. You really should experience it in person. So that was nice of that person to drop a comment. So I appreciate that. And let's see. So don't forget, we do have the raffle. If you win the raffle, or even if you know someone who wins it, or even if you don't know them, but you want to drop their name. So if Joe Schmo wins the raffle, type in Joe Schmo. You know what I mean? And this way, he would see he won. Or, Susie, and Susie would see if she won. So just saying, people I think are not, I'm always putting up some of the same gift cards because people end up not claiming it. Maybe they think I'm going to call them and say, hey, you won the prize. But I have people kind of, they're the ones that have to call me up to claim their prize. My phone number is right on the page, and it's also under the post for the raffle. It's under there as well. Okay, so the topic, are things the way they appear to be in life? So drop a comment. What do you think? Yes or no? Are things the way they appear to be? I mean, it's a very open-ended question. Some people, when I ask this, are looking at it as a social media thing, or the regular media, Channel 12, Channel 10. So you see something on the news. Is it the way that they're making it be? What do you think? Drop a comment. I could say for one thing that I experienced recently that just kind of stands out was the unveiling of the Columbus statue over in Johnston. So I was there for that. It was a great day. There was a lot of, people there. There was a lot of people I knew, or even if it's just an acquaintance or I knew them from years ago or whatever. It was nice. I felt safe. Everything was, it was an experience. Everything went well, I thought. There was some donated things from different businesses as well, including some food items as well. And people made speeches, and they really weren't even that boring, I have to say. It wasn't really boring speeches. And it was a nice thing. But on the media, they showed it as kind of as being what I just said, but then they showed the protesters that were there and some yelling and screaming that had went down. I didn't hear that. You're in a big open area. You're not in a place. Maybe if we were inside a place, we would have saw, a commotion in the corner. But I didn't hear it. And I'm not just saying that. I did see the protesters from afar. That was about it. I didn't hear them arguing like what the news showed. I don't think it was really the worst thing that the news showed of that. I mean, I wasn't mad at them for showing the truth because there was some yelling going on at some point. But that wasn't the whole thing. That was a smaller piece of something that was very nice that was going on. So that could be an example of how the news media, Channel 12 or whatever channel it was in Rhode Island, put something out there that kind of showed the good and the bad that day. But me being there and a lot of others who were there, we felt it was mostly good and mostly a good day. How about things like this? And I know a lot of you probably know what I'm about to, you probably relate to what I'm about to say. You see some really beautiful pictures of whether it's a wedding or not, whether it's going out at night, whether it's, this couple and they're dating or they're married, or honeymoon pictures, or traveling, or constantly traveling. And I'm not saying any of this out of jealousy, by the way. I'm just giving you the facts of what sometimes we see on social media. So you see very happy couples, sometimes attractive, both people, the guy and the girl, or whatever, looking good, going on lots of trips, looking really happy and everything. And then months later, you find out that they're separated and they filed for divorce. And I'm not saying everyone's in that boat. But, it just makes you wonder, is the whole thing an act? Is one person stringing along the other one? What is the reason for that? I never understood that anyway. I never understood how, people could be together, and whether it's for a short time or a long time, and everything seems so genuine and so wonderful. And then the next thing you hear is they're getting divorced, or you hear that they broke up. So I don't know if it's just part of being human and just someone messes up along the way and makes a mistake that's not forgivable. I don't know if it's just that it was an act all along, just to show hey, I live a high life. And again, I'm not jealous of a high life. That's not where I'm going with this. I think all of us can work hard and attain whatever it is we want to attain. So if you want to be able to afford lots of vacations or this big, big, big mansion, if you manage your money the right way, and if you work and if you do things to build up to that, I think it's possible. I know some people think it's far-fetched, but I think anything's possible. So it's not out of jealousy I'm speaking. It's just out of, what is wrong with that? I mean, there was even I'm not going to say his name. There was a dentist in the East Greenwich area that committed suicide. I think this was last year. So now you have this guy who does well for himself, supposedly really attractive, really nice, really well-rounded and whatever. Like, what made him be suicidal? And I have people saying, oh, it's because he's a dentist and, they inflict pain on people. But he went into that profession, so there is, what's it called? You get numbed and all that, Novocaine. I don't know. It just makes you wonder. So someone like him who you think would have this perfect life or happy life, apparently maybe didn't. So that goes for anyone. So are things the way? So again, I'm not saying out of jealousy. I'm saying out of these happy couples, why are they all of a sudden not happy? So much so that they have to split up. So much so that they have to, get that divorce or whatever. Or were they just, I don't know. It's interesting. Drop comments if you want. Even if you're watching on a replay. Hey, hi Chris, hello there. Even with families and coworkers, you could say, oh look, what a great family. Oh, how nice. They have like 3 or 4 kids or whatever. Everything's so hunky-dory. How do you really know, though, what's going on behind closed doors? Same for some of your coworkers. You have coworkers who might be smiling and laughing all day long, and they might go home and be yelling and screaming, So are things the way they appear to be, Hey, Michelle, I don't know why, but dentists have a high rate of suicide. Yeah, thank you. I know, I looked that up, too. It's funny. Thank you for reminding me, actually, Michelle. Hey there, and thanks for tuning in. Yeah, that dentists do have a high rate of suicide. But to me, you choose your profession. So, I know I could never do for me, I know I could never do anything in the medical field that involved, surgery or, anything, blood or any kind of medical procedure, whether it's in your mouth or in your body. I know I wouldn't be able to do that. So you think they kind of know that up front. I don't know. And I have a friend who actually, she might be watching, who actually went to that dentist and always spoke well of him. And she said she ended up, I think he died last December or the one before. Might have been last December. So let's say he died right after, or killed himself right after Christmas. It was like 2 weeks prior. She had went there for a visit. And she did say he seemed a little different than normal. His shirt wasn't ironed. Something else she said too. Not that it means your shirt's not ironed. It means something bad. But you know what I'm saying? Like she noticed a couple things out of place. But even that, does that mean you're going to go, take the drastic step to kill yourself? I don't think it would always signify that. So it makes you wonder. Even with suicide, look how many people commit suicide, whether they're famous or whether they're right here in Rhode Island. And sometimes you feel like you see it coming, or the people around them said, okay, I saw that coming. Not me, I'm just saying people around that person may have seen it coming. And other people may not have. I guess there's snow falling down. That's the noise that is. It's like, that's okay. The rain's going to melt it away, hopefully. So it's interesting. So guys, say hi, drop a comment. We are going to do the raffle. And we're still on our topic of are things the way they appear to be. So definitely please drop a comment about that. Let's see. So also you could look at the question like this. Are people as happy as they appear to be? And I think that could be yes or no. Are they happy? Are things going okay for them? Or they appear to be happy, or things appear to be going well for them in their life, but maybe on the inside, maybe it's really not. And it's kind of like an act, or it's kind of like fake. And you don't know unless you're close to the person. Sometimes, just it could be anything. It could be something emotional going on, physical, mental, and sometimes you might not be able to see those things. So in general, like, why do people not want to show it? So people who maybe are really upset or really sad or really whatever, really in pain, physical pain, mental pain, whatever it is, why would you not want to show that to the world or to your coworkers or to your friends? So drop a comment. Why would you not want to show that negative side of you, or that, you're down and out or whatever? I think one reason, so I'll just name some things, but definitely drop a comment on that. And let's see, Chris, hey, need to come to Wisconsin. Yeah, let me know if Fast Eddie's coming. Thanks, thank you. Yeah, Chris, just have them give me a call. I'm just not familiar with those few places in Woonsocket, but yes, definitely. And please call me. I have friend requests I don't make the time to go through, unfortunately. I am not on Facebook Messenger either, or hardly on it. So I'm definitely having them call me, or my phone number's on the page, Chris. So thanks, thank you. Yeah, that works, definitely works. So why do people not want to get into their life story, or get into why they're angry that day, or why they're mad, or why they're depressed? Why do people just make up like, oh no, I'm fine. No, I'm good. How are you? I'm good too. Like, that's how we just respond to most people just say, hi, how are you? And you just answer good. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. How about you? How's the family? We don't go into our problems. So why do we do that? You know what I mean? So, hey, Brenda, hi. The topic is why it's kind of twofold. Are people as happy as they appear to be? And in life, are things the way they seem to be? Like, is that really the way it is, though? Or is it kind of hidden? Are you hiding some of the negative? So I think people don't want to share some of the negative because they don't want to get into the whole story. Another reason people don't want to share the negative that's going on is because they don't want to tell their personal business if they're a private person. And everyone's different. You get people who are just open books, they don't care, and other people who just are private about almost everything. Also, it's true, it's easier to act like nothing's wrong, even when something is wrong. It's just kind of easier for us to go through our day, whether it's at work or not, and it's just easier for us to just say, okay, like, just it's easier to act normal, like as if nothing's wrong. It's just easier. And then some people, and I kind of do this too, I don't want to ruin the mood or the day for other people around me. So if I am having a bad day or things are going wrong in whatever way, I won't always admit it in the sense of I don't want to bring those others down with me. I want to try to stay upbeat. And I'm not saying I've never vented to people. Of course I have. But I'm just saying in general, there are times I've purposely stayed quiet, just not to ruin the fun for everyone else, like so to say. And there's another example of that I'm going to get to in a moment too. Hey, Michelle, many people think it's a sign of weakness, especially certain generations. Yeah, that too. That's true, Michelle. So you might think it's weak. Like it's like, oh, I'll feel weak if I show my weakness, or I'll feel like I'm less strong because I admitted a weakness. Okay. Let's see. So, and then this is another thing that I do too, is I don't want sympathy from others. So that's another reason. So when I had a surgery over a year ago, I didn't even put it on here. And it was a major surgery, get cut open and everything. It was medically necessary. It wasn't like an optional one, unfortunately. And I was scared, but I didn't want to put it on here. So when it came Tuesday, and I had people, Tanya, cancel, don't do your live. And you just had surgery 5 days ago. Don't. No, I'm like, I'm going to be out of the hospital by then. I'm like, I am going to go live. I'm like, maybe I'll make it a little more brief or whatever. And I didn't go on there and be like, yeah, guys, I'm recovering from surgery, this and that. Like, I didn't bother saying anything. And you couldn't see. You couldn't see the area because I had clothes on. But I still did the live. I didn't want to get into, I didn't want any sympathy from anybody. And I didn't want to start getting all these calls and messages. Oh my God, I hope you're okay. And all these cards and get well soon and flowers and stuff. And then the few people that it leaked out to, my close group of people knew I had the surgery. But the other people who I don't see as often, to some of them it leaked out to them, whether it was through someone I'm close to, whether I just said, oh, well, I can't do it tomorrow. I'm like, I'm going to surgery tomorrow. Let's say I said to one of my acquaintances or someone like that. And then because they found out, it's like now they're sending flowers. And it's like, but I don't think that person would have sent flowers if they didn't know about it, and I don't even expect flowers from anybody. So I just don't want the sympathy from others. I don't want people to feel bad. And plus, I don't want to be on my phone. I'm trying to recuperate because I don't want to be answering all these text messages, and I'm OCD, so it takes a little longer sometimes to get back to everybody because I recheck everything if anybody hasn't noticed that already. So because of that, it would take me longer to text than a normal person, and I knew it would have been a lot to go through and I should really be resting. But anyway, not to digress. So yeah, and then sometimes people want to stay quiet about what's going on in their life because it's maybe a long track record and it's years worth of problems. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I could tell you about the most recent argument, but it stems back to something that happened 15 years ago. So you'd have to know that story in order to know what went down just now. And that's why I just made that up, but that's what people say, things similar to that, which you kind of can understand. Like, oh, I can't even get into it because you'd have to know what happened way back when. So, hey, Brenda, I may have missed a comment, guys, so sorry about that. Oh, I know this dementia thing, it's very hard. Yeah, I know. Yes. I do that too, though. I do. I vent. I definitely vent and definitely say what's going on. And I think it's good sometimes, too, because you can get other ideas from other people. But I know what you're saying. It can go both ways. I know this dementia thing, my God. I've had a closer look at that recently, and I still can't believe it just totally just takes over your mind. It's amazing when you don't even know your own children, because that should be your entire world. And I know it is that person's entire world, but to not know your kids' names or not recognize them, it's like it's an amazing, it's not a good disease, that's for sure. Hey, is your oven going off in the background? Hey, James. No, actually, that's the laundry. You can hear that? Okay. Okay. My oven. I know I should be cooking more. No, that's what's it called. That's the laundry, yeah. It just keeps beeping to tell me it's done. it's in the dryer, it's fine. It's not, I only get more concerned when I go from washer to dryer. I don't want it to sit there for hours on end. I'd rather get that turnover quick. But if it's in the dryer, it can sit there for hours now. It's okay. So, hey, Kathy, hello. All right, cool. I know you left your number there. I know it's cutting off. I know, good to hear from you, James. Hope you're well. And same for Kathy, hello. Sorry, the comments cutting off, Kathy, but good to hear from you. Okay, let's see. So even me, so someone could say, okay, what kind of a read you get on me? Well, I am usually happy. Of course, like everyone, I have some bad days that are sprinkled in. But I am a generically, normally happy person. But I will say there's been times, whether it's minutes or hours before I have to go live or before I'm scheduled to go live, where like something does go wrong. And sometimes it's something major enough where I have people close to me telling me to cancel. And I'm like, well, why do I don't have to cancel? Like, I'm not gonna, no way. Hey, James, I know it's cute. The secret of like, no, it's not, it's never a secret. And I'm too much of an open book. I'm too honest. Just go ask Tom how honest I am. He'll tell you I'm a little too honest sometimes. Like, it's too much. It could start other problems sometimes. But yeah, so it's very, things have happened right before I had to go live, whether it was right before, whether it was hours before, and I didn't want to cancel. And I didn't want to say it on my page and be like, oh yeah, this and this just happened. Do you believe it? And this and that. Like, I said, that's all right, whatever. Let's just proceed on with the live, try to make the best of it or whatever. There's times I haven't been up for it, maybe. This is only very far and few between where I wasn't up for it, whether it was physically, emotionally, mentally, and I knew I had to go live and I just wasn't 100% up for it. I'll give you an example. I have a photo of myself on the page. I normally don't take selfies, but that night I was stuck taking a selfie because there was nobody that moment that was handy. Everybody else was in the other room. And again, I didn't want to interrupt the fun. And my mother said, you have to get a picture of yourself in that dress. That's Nonna's dress. Nonna means grandmother in Italian. And my grandmother is alive and everything. But I was wearing her dress from years and years ago. And she said, how come you didn't get a picture yet? I said, because the night just went to shit. It was an awful night because this went wrong and then this went wrong and then this one yelled. And it was an awful night. So I'm just saying, sometimes, are things what they seem? No, not always. I have a picture of myself on the page in a dress in what appears to be a dressing room area, because that's what it basically was. It's not my house. I wish it was, but it's not. But anyway, and that was an awful day. I mean, awful enough that I really didn't even want to be out that night. So for me not to want to be out, because I'm not someone who's a homebody, I do want to be out. So that's how bad of a day it was, that I was very close to just canceling. And it was bad. I'm talking crying, like bad day. Like one of the worst days I've had in the past, I don't even know, probably year or probably 6 months. I mean, it was not good. I mean, so again, long story. But, I only took the picture for my mother and my grandmother, and I didn't want to bother friends. And I said, I'm just going to take it of myself and not ruin the fun. And how would you have known that? People be like, oh, look at this nice picture of Tanya, this and that. Like, do you have any idea what I went through hours and minutes before that picture? Like, no one has no clue. So that's what I'm saying. Are things where they appear? No. Because you think I'm happy in that picture, and in reality, I was like a wreck. Like, it was really bad. So, and I only just stayed out and just went out that night just because I was already committed and already had said yes. And I just didn't want to let people down because it was a group of people. And, just saying. That's all. Let's see. And I really think most people went down that day. I think most people in my shoes probably would have canceled plans, but I just couldn't do it. Let's see. Yeah, I couldn't even manage to even put this the other thing. I wanted to put that up on Facebook the night that we were actually out and be like, oh, good, I'm doing this for my grandmother. Let me put this up. And I was so out of it and so upset and crying and whatever, I forgot to even do it, that I ended up doing it like days later as a tribute to my grandmother. So I'm just making an example. I'm not asking for sympathy. I'm just saying, like, there are days that I have had bad days. And I think we all have them. And I also want to clarify too. Let me see, actually, before I said I was going to clarify in a moment, but let me see. That was awesome. Thanks, thank you, Brenda. Yeah, the dress was actually too small too, but thank you. I wasn't even comfortable on top of all that. I need to come over to. Oh God, thank you. So much fun. I know it gets a little crazy. Yes, let us know. Let us know when. Let us know when we'll come over, and we can come over if you want. So this I want to clarify too, because some people, when I say that, if I'm having a bad day, which is luckily far and few between, but the times I have, It is not due to, and this is just one thing that stands out, is, okay, the superintendent of Cranston schools. Okay, I've said more than one thing in a negative way, a couple positive things, but mostly negative about the superintendent of Cranston schools. I would love for her to come on for an interview. I know she probably won't. She basically has no comment, but there's always going to be naysayers. So of course she has supporters, and now those people have gone against me, let's say on social media, some of them have. I have to be honest, that didn't ruin my day. So when I say I'm having a bad day, or something happens before my life, I'm not referring to that. That's not something I refer to. I have to say, I have thick skin in that sense, like, because I know there's always going to be naysayers, and I'm okay with that. You know, it's these other things that go wrong in life for all of us, as we know. But the criticism online, don't care. Like, you know, that part doesn't faze me. Even if I might read it and say, oh, well, that wasn't really nice they wrote that. It's not going to ruin the rest of my day. It's not going to, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that, like, no. Another example, the snow post, which now I've learned I should be paying a little more attention to the forecast before I comment about the forecast on Facebook. And some of you may have seen that post about the snow. I spoke too soon because the roads were clear, at least the roads that I was seeing in and around my house, in my area where I live. The roads were basically clear. And I put it on Facebook, and no sooner do I do that, it was minutes later, the snow started to pick up again. And now people are chiming in. Tanya, look outside, you know, it is snowing out, or, oh my God, it's a whiteout on such and such road, or it's this or it's that, and there was criticism. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going to take the post down. Like, something like that didn't ruin my day. And I didn't take the post down. And, you know, people are allowed to have their opinions, and I think it's okay to have a different opinion from everyone else. I think it's totally fine. I mean, I think it's okay. You don't have to always be on the same page and always agree with everybody. I mean, I don't think you always have to agree with everybody on things. And the snow, you know, it didn't bother me. I kept the post up. It didn't bother me. I'm only bringing it up now because I learned that I spoke too soon because the snow picked up again. My main point of writing that post was that the good news is, so I'll just say this for you and anyone else who's super worried and worked up about the snow, because I see it. I've seen just people I'm in connection with, whether they're close to me or not, they are like all over the place because of snow. Like, oh my God, I gotta get to the store. But there is no milk at that store. So now I gotta go to the next store or the next closest store. Or I could go to this store, but it's expensive there. Or only thing that was left was organic milk, and milk that came in a glass bottle. It was like, you know, $7. I mean, all sorts of reasons. Everybody's freaking out, panicking about the snow. I didn't even end up going to the market. I just said, whatever. It's a little easier for me too, though. I don't have any kids or anything like that. So that obviously helps. But, I mean, here's how I look at it. So here's the good news. So anyone who keeps getting worked up over snowstorms, whether they're a big snowstorm or a little snowstorm, can you please just keep this in mind? Or tell people around you who are worried about this to please keep this in mind. The good news is we are not in the 1970s anymore. We get plowed quickly. There's people that you may even know that have a plow on the front of their pickup truck. Okay? I mean, I even know people who have that. And that's not even who's even doing the plowing, but at least for me. I'm just making an example, like the plows are on the main roads quickly. Maybe not on every side road, but even that will get done in a timely manner. That's my opinion. I think it's fact. So I say no to stocking up at the grocery store because we are not in the 1970s. You're not going to be plowed in for days. We're in 2024, and even if for some reason you are plowed in, there are ways to get things to you in this kind of world we live in. I mean, I don't believe it's going to ever be like that where it's days on end. You may lose power for days, which is another reason to not stock up so much. But to say if you would truly be snowed in, I just don't see that with the amount of technology and everything we have today. So hey guys, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know it's hard because some people just can't, you know, I mean, I even had someone I knew too making kind of a big deal, like, oh my God, they're not doing it right because of this and that, and complaining about the way the plow guys are doing it. For me, it's like, I don't care, just as long as I can just, you know, drive out of there, like, I don't care how it's done, I don't get, you know, and people do get pretty worked up. So anyways, like I'm saying, there's been times I'm admitting, yes, I am mostly a happy person, but like everyone else, I've gone upset too. And I think that's okay, and I think it's normal, and I think in life, not every day has to be a good day. I think we could try for that, of course, every day. But there's always going to be some of those bad days mixed in. And I enjoy doing what I do with this, and I hope the viewers enjoy it, and I feel like it's kind of a form of therapy for the viewers and for myself, depending on the topic, because sometimes it gets a little crazy too. But I do enjoy them, these Tuesdays, and the main reason I do them is just helping others, and through a topic or through promoting their business or their artistry, or to bring awareness to situations that come up in cities and towns. I like to bring an awareness to that as well. So let's see. And yeah, like I think I already said this. People think I should cancel just because I'm having a bad day. It's like, or just because something went wrong that day. And it's like, I'm not canceling. Like, I'm not gonna, my car broke down, so now I gotta cancel. No, I don't. I could do it like I'm doing right now, which is not in a restaurant. I've also had people tell me I should cancel due to the holidays. Even if it fell on Christmas on a Tuesday, I don't plan on canceling, because I have 16 daytime hours to work with. I can't find a half hour to do a live on Christmas if it falls on Christmas. This past year, the Tuesdays meaning holidays to fall on a Tuesday, did happen on both Halloween and 4th of July. And you could think those are not as important, and I guess they're not. But, I still managed to do a live those days. And I had people say, why don't you just cancel? Like, why would you just enjoy the holiday, this and that, go to a cookout? What? Cookout? It was raining on the 4th of July. We had like this rainy, awful summer. So, but, I'm just saying, like, people just have encouraged me to almost cancel on occasion. And it's like, I'm not doing that. But please reach out to me, either you or anyone you know, and tell others that you know. And guys, we will do the raffle soon as well. I'll also let you know where I'm going to be next week. Please reach out to people, tell others. I'm open to new ideas. I'm open to a variety of interviews from people from all walks of life. So if anybody wants an interview, please reach out to me, even if it's somebody that's already been on here and they want another interview. That's fine too. And guys, drop a comment or drop someone's name in the comments if you want someone to see the video. And another thing I want to do too is something to do with fundraisers and charities. I want to tie that into these Tuesdays as well. Maybe one per week, one per month. I'm not sure yet. But like, there's so many GoFundMe pages, like we can maybe focus on one per week. And I try to keep it local too. I'd like to keep the support local if I do something like that. It doesn't mean we can't contribute to a national fundraiser. It's just I'm trying to keep this page more like Rhode Island friendly and more convenient and local. So that's another thing on my list of things to do. I have a couple of ideas of some local fundraiser type things. Or what do you call them? Like, what's that word? Foundations or 503B or C. I'm not sure the right way to say it, but these nonprofit things. Or there's a lot of things. I can't think of the right word. I'm sorry. It's getting late. It's Wednesday with Tanya almost. So yes, a few other, a few other random things. And guys, drop a comment about anything, even if you're watching on a replay, a few other random things. So some people liked my video. I don't know if it's because I was talking about sex as the topic or if because they truly just liked the video. I'm not sure. But either way, it's like, what is the importance of sex in a relationship? How important is sex in a relationship? And people definitely chimed in. So check that out if you didn't catch that already. That was last week's video. And that's what was the topic. And it wasn't dirty or anything, I don't think it was. And I'm sorry if anyone thinks it was or anybody couldn't handle it. But, we should all be adults here. How important is it? Well, you know what? It is important. At least I think it should be important. And research shows that it's important. And if you don't feel it is, you should have a very good reason for why not. Or reason why you can't currently participate in that type of thing. So, and I went into some details of what that meant, and I didn't mean it, to be mean or to, be too opinionated, but some of it is backed up with facts, what I had said, and definitely check out that video. I even explained some other relationship matters as well within the video. I explained that. So, check that out too. I'm going to be doing the raffle shortly. Not many names in the raffle, but it is for a gift card to Soul Infused, half-hour spiritual life coaching session. So I'll definitely... If I know it's backwards, but I'll definitely be going over that soon. And the other thing too, so I will be doing that shortly. The other thing too I was going to mention was Johnson's Pond. I haven't followed that story, but it does interest me of the pieces I've heard of it in Johnson's Pond over there in Coventry. Please call me if you or anyone you know wants to come on here live with me and talk about Johnson's Pond and the whole fiasco that's surrounding it. The Sosha guy, that's his last name. I think that's his last name. I don't know. It might be Bruce. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I said the wrong name. Last name is Sosha with an S's and Sam. He might be the owner of it, current owner, former owner. I'm not sure of the exact story. If he wants to come on here and speak, he can. Any taxpayers want to come on here and speak about it, they can. Speak about Johnson's Pond and this whole legal situation that's going down with it. whether you want to say something good or bad. And I think a lot of people are annoyed too with many factors that are part of this situation. And I even put a post on my page, and if you click on the post, which I shared from another page, another Coventry page I shared it from. If you click on the post, there's hundreds, I want to say it's into the hundreds of comments about it. And a lot of them are bad about the whole problem with this whole Johnson's Pond thing. So if anyone wants to talk about it, whether you want to say something positive or negative or both, or you know someone that does, please have them call me. Again, please don't Facebook message me. I'm not really on Messenger, so please give me a call. My phone number is on the page. Or drop their name in here as well. Okay, so we'll do the raffle, and please reach out to me and call me if you're the winner. So this again is for Alexandra Lepore. She's a spiritual life coach. A lot of great insight. We should have her on again. So Alexandra, if you're watching, hello, and feel free to come on here anytime. Have another interview if you want. Nikki, hope I'm saying it right. I like how you wrote that, Nikki, by the way. It's a little separation there. 2 words. So, Nikki, you have 1. So, I should just turn it around. You know why I don't want to turn it around? Because there's a little bit of a mess in the background. I'm a little self-conscious. So, a little self-conscious. A little bit of a mess, or my idea. So, I know it doesn't come in clear sometimes, but it does say Nikki. I know it's a little whatever. I hate when it does that. It doesn't come in clear. Okay. So, Nikki, you have won this. You won the gift card. You do have to call me to claim the prize. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So, you won. And next week, so thanks, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Feel free to like and share. Next week, the 16th of January, Dan Bidandi. Hope I'm saying his name right. I'm pretty sure he has a podcast of his own as well. We're not sure of the topic we're going to talk about yet. But we'll have Dan on, Dan B. So, Dan Bidandi. 5 p.m. range next week. So tune in then. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.